It's Saturday night and you're bored. There's nothing new on YouTube, you're caught up on White Lotus, and it's another 3 hours until your next pack in TCG Pocket. So what is there to do other than rifle through the backlog and pick out a random title to try and fill the void? That is how I ended up playing Test Drive Unlimited 2 for the first time almost 15 years after its release, and wow, this game is fascinating. And bad. I was going to do a full review for this game, discussing its many foibles such as the unnaturally stiff car physics, non-existent class balancing, numerous pointless features, a horrifyingly bad plot with voice acting to match, Todd. But above all else, what I really can't get over is this game's truly appalling roadway design. This game's roads do not feel like they were designed by a human being. There are so many hills, blind corners, and uneven surfaces that will happily send your car to the Shadow Realm at their earliest convenience. And more to the point of this video, dozens of awkward intersections and one-way streets that make navigating the map far trickier than necessary, even when you are flipping the bird to every road safety law ever conceived. So it got me thinking, I would love to hear the opinion of someone actually qualified to speak on this subject. So I have compiled a list of my favorite examples of what I perceive to be as strange road design in Test Drive Unlimited 2. Now all I need to do is find a civil engineer. I have a few spots in the game Test Drive Unlimited 2 that I'm very excited to share with you. And I want your somewhat professional opinion regarding, would these ever get built? Are these even legal to build? How many millions of dollars of taxpayer money is being wasted on some of these spots? We're actually spawned in at the first spot I wanted to share with you. So we have this lovely little intersection here where the road, we're on a one-way street right here. And the road kind of splits off. It goes off to the left here, and then it continues straight. If we go straight here, we find that it dead ends into another one-way road. And so that one-way road collects the other one-way road that split off from the first one-way road that we were on. And so this second one-way road just kind of exists for no reason. It doesn't really go anywhere. Doesn't seem to really do anything. So what are your thoughts? Because I was looking around, I was driving around here earlier, and I noticed there's just absolutely nothing over here that it would lead to. And so I wanted to get back to that first one-way road we were on, and then I realized there's actually a third split off one-way road, all of them leading into the one main one-way road that's kind of circling around all of them. So if we go into the map real quick, one-way, two one-way, three one-way.
So there's no secret that I'm seeing to the first shorter arm that you were unhappy about. That should not be there. We really wouldn't want to encourage any sort of stop control double left turn. This is essentially a no-win scenario. Because the fact that they're stop controlled means having essentially 4 lanes that
No, the cops don't do anything in this game. They're just there for show, basically.
Well, so are the roads, because stop control means that this many lanes to turn is essentially not going to work because they all have to wait for traffic on this supposedly very busy street. I'll be honest, I'm not seeing it. You would essentially get rid of one of those original left turn intersections where you're stop controlled on. And, this could be a lovely kind of linear park or something that, could be utilized by people. It seems to be in a somewhat dense area, so we'd like to see that as opposed to just taking extra land. On a scale of effectiveness, this is probably shooting like a 3. You kind of have the opposite of a capacity issue. There's no cars anywhere, really, to necessitate a 2-lane, essentially, highway. And the idea of it being one way is kind of ruined by the fact that you have to stop everywhere, so you don't really get any benefit. of one-way traffic. So you ask about how much money is being wasted. It's pretty cheap because it's not grade separated. You know, we're not having to construct any of these long, gentle curves. We didn't care about the, you know, trying to let these vehicles go fast at all.
Yeah.
But then they kind of clearly seem to have bought several hundred feet wide down this prime shoreline. I would guess, you know, on Hawaii, this is easily a couple $100 million worth of right of way down this whole stretch we've just completely wasted buying just extra width for a road
it just continues.
You
and there's
didn't,
not a whole lot of places.
And I see
around.
it's joined. Oh my God. All right, no. We gotta focus on one at a time. So yeah, there's a 3 in terms of effectiveness. This is probably getting you banned in the state of Hawaii. If you go, I got it, boss, and you guys built this.
All right.
Hawaii's Department of Transportation would be like, we really appreciate you guys going ahead and heading out, because you're not going to do any more work in the state of Hawaii.
All right. So this is one intersection. It has already cost us hundreds of millions and quite a few people's jobs.
Yes, that's correct.
All right. So that is one of several places that I have marked over here.
Okay. All right.
So in regards to the continual use of kind of one-way roads, and loving how the game just absolutely loves to split these roads, I have noticed quite a few interesting merges here. So if we go here, we have a 4-lane highway. Okay.
No barrier, nothing here. Just
a 4-lane highway.
50 miles an hour, just right there.
Yeah.
All right.
Fairly surreal. And then if we turn behind us, you will notice 1, a steep incline, and then 2, a 10-lane highway that just kind of suddenly appears out of nowhere. You got your 5 lanes that just suddenly merge into 2, and then you continue on like normal.
So the biggest problem in general is the lane continuity. If you just stop at this, you'll notice you are not pointed at where you need to go. So if you just keep going exactly straight,
it's just
you are now
you
are lined up directly to just spear yourself on this section of guardrail. So that's lane continuity is a disaster here. This really needs to much slowly wind down. And it's not possible, right? Because you've got 5 lanes going into 2.
Right.
So this is not a real intersection that could even happen. This would result in, essentially just stopped traffic.
Yes.
At the end of this, and when it's not stopped, it would be about to be stopped because someone would just kind of die in an accident here. You would probably, rub up against a car and then just slowly veer into oncoming traffic, which is going 50 to 55 miles an hour.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you're aware of how a head-on collision at 55 miles an hour works. You would die here unless you were driving whatever the hell that was. There's just no need for an intersection here. So this is getting a negative effectiveness.
Okay.
Because this is creating a problem that was not there.
This is actively causing problems that should not have existed in the first place.
Yes. This is going to be probably about a negative 5 or 6, negative 5.5. This is probably killing a few hundred people a year, I would say. We're wasting probably another couple $100 million here. Maybe more. This might be $1 billion stretch of highway.
This is $1 billion stretch
that we probably could have shaved, $1 billion off the construction, depending on when it was built.
I don't know if we'll go past that as far as new loads, but this game does have quite a few of.
Okay, I noticed we're on a one-way road right here.
We're on yet another one-way road, and because this is all one-way roads, we have the beloved 5-way intersection here. So we are on a one-way road that cuts directly through this intersection north to south. We've got a 2-way road right here to our right that suddenly becomes a split road and also splits into 2 lanes either direction, only to suddenly remerge.
I was noticing that, and if we were to go to that, what are the odds that we would be merging into a normal one lane each direction road?
I'd say the odds are pretty high.
Are the odds high?
I think the odds are in fact
okay.
100%.
All right. And it's a 25 mile. So this is now suddenly a local road.
Yes.
That no one cares at all about. So I mean, this is a disaster class, right? Mm-hmm. This is awful stuff. This is one of those. I know a lot of people have some feelings about some roundabouts. Mm-hmm. This is begging, screaming, and throwing up in the middle of the night. Mm-hmm. Please, can I be a roundabout? So this would have to become, what we like to call a peanut, or an asymmetrical roundabout, where we'd essentially create a more oval-like shape that would take over this entire intersection. Probably have to realign some of the entrances here. Okay. And that would result in some property takes. Okay. So in some ways, they've saved money with this very dangerous design.
Okay.
But, all in all, this has got to go. I think we're replacing it with that, and that'll allow us to preserve these lovely trees that they seem to care, so much about right here. And I think in terms of effectiveness, this is kind of like the first one for me, where it's like, this is a 3. Mm-hmm. I mean, people are dying at this one too. I would say this is local. Yeah. This is small potatoes compared to some other roads we've seen. So yeah, probably only a dozen or so. People are, it looks like it's in a neighborhood. Most people are going to get familiar with it pretty quick. But every now and then you're going to get some tourists. It's going to be, in a fucking green Lotus, just like a douche, just rolling around the island. He's probably going to fly through this intersection, take somebody out.
Especially if they were holding, say, an international racing competition here.
Oh, that would be disastrous.
Just completely
does that happen?
Drivers. Yeah, no. As a matter of fact, it does.
Oh,
that may or may not be the entire plot of the game.
All right, I'd like to up my estimate. We're probably seeing a few dozen casualties a year. Okay. So probably 50 to 70. I think that's going down as another 3, where it's like, it's laughable. Are people dying? Yeah. Okay. But there's probably worse options out there.
Yeah. Speaking of worse options, here is yet another 5-way intersection. What I really love about this 5-way intersection is that it all takes place within 180 degrees. So on this road, all of our options are to the left. So this, I guess, is our going through the intersection north to south in a way. This is going south to north. I guess we can turn around here to go back to south. This road is a split highway for some reason, so this is going west to east. We turn here to go east to west. What I'm curious about is this road on the other side of the intersection a normal 2-direction highway, or is this a 1-way road as well? It appears that, that this is a 2-way, so it suddenly splits at this intersection and becomes a 2 or a 1-way street, but it doesn't really make that very clear with the signage.
This is going to be a pretty no-win situation. Because, we just witnessed an accident. So that is going to be... So I think we can attest there are some costs to the taxpayer that are being associated with this intersection.
I would say so, yeah.
I mean, there are a lot of problems with this particular intersection. I think that... It just keeps proving me.
I think we've proven this intersection has at least a couple issues.
It does have a couple issues
to work out. We watched 2 accidents occur in the span of 5 minutes.
We need to get rid of this 1-way arm right here that we've just seen. We wouldn't want to be able to just have that as an added complication. Right. And in general, you want to have less legs on an intersection, not more. And so for that, we're gonna get rid of this. We're gonna have essentially this typical section continue to cross right here, and we'll just have this 2-lane, 2-way, undivided. It probably is a little bit easier for that to be one stop controlled intersection. Set up similar to how this one is now. We'd prefer to have a little chicane movement going on up to the intersection, because I think the biggest cause of fatal accidents here is going to be people that just fly straight through this intersection into the hill right there that are going highway speeds.
I see.
If they don't T-bone someone, they're just going off here and they're finding a tree. And so clearly hundreds of deaths are occurring at this one, for sure.
Okay.
For sure. Probably thousands of accidents. We've been here, 10 minutes? We've seen 2.
Mm-hmm.
So if we start extrapolating, and there's no one here, right? Yeah. So in a rush hour scenario, I would just kind of go somewhere
anytime there's more than one car at this intersection,
I would get out. I would walk. There's no wins.
Mm-hmm. What's our effectiveness rating?
I think this is, again, going to be negative. This is going to be probably a -2. Particularly with splitting, this road that we're on into 2 one-way roads
at the worst possible place.
That's really where our negative rating is coming in, which I think brings us too close to 0.
I think we're overall at 0 exactly.
Yeah. So we are accomplishing pretty much none of the goals that we want to.
Yes.
With these intersections.
I really want to finish with probably my 2 favorite spots so far. What I love about this first spot is that from above, it looks fairly innocuous. This is very clearly just kind of a weird on-ramp or off-ramp. Some sort of ramp is happening
we would call this a trumpet. Is what this is referred to. But
this is clearly just merging into some highway. We've probably got some elevated road here and elevated highway here. For some reason,
that's what I think.
Merging.
Yeah.
Anyways, so if we go here, you will see that it is in fact this is just a weird intersection, and then this road here,
20 miles an hour. Divided 4-lane facility.
It just kind of
just
loops
not even
around.
Wait. That's up there.
It just loops around, and then up here we've got it merges, and then we can go back onto this road, and we can do an infinite loop of driving this one road here. It doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't do anything. It's just here. It's just chilling.
And so that was 4 lanes to 2 right there.
Yes. Not to. All right.
Okay.
And then he's going the wrong way. All right. And then there's absolute mess of an intersection where there's multiple stoplights stacked very close together, matched with more one-way intersections.
Yeah.
More one-way streets.
It's chaotically neutral in my mind, right? Where it's just accomplishing nothing.
He's back.
It's just accomplishing nothing well. So we're just gonna have to raise this up. We're gonna have to build 2 bridges across a 4-lane divided highway, and it looks like we're gonna have to bring in a bit of dirt for this side of the road. So this is the poor design of this facility it's gonna cost us a lot.
Yeah.
Here, so I mean this is killing hundreds of people a year for sure to have this many just stop controlled intersections, and this merge is also. I mean, a lot of people are getting into accidents. We completely 2 to 4 lanes
the
right
4
there.
To 2 right there.
I think the merge maybe takes it to -1, which I think takes us to like a -0.2, a -0.25.
Okay.
So we'll head on to the next spot, but it's a tough. Whoa.
All right, my last and one of my favorite intersections in the game. I think you can sort of see what's going on here.
I don't think I can see anything that's going on here.
We have this elevated, very large highway. There's an overpass going over this smaller highway, which is
they
also
have
split.
been able to grade separate interchanges the whole time.
Yes.
It's been an active choice.
Yes.
I'm feeling pretty betrayed, right? I might need to revisit some of my rankings.
Once again, we're on a split one-way highway. We have a right turn here.
Okay.
And then if we keep going over here, we have this other intersection coming from, I guess, originally this massive large highway, which, again, we can sort of see just ahead of us, this bridge in the distance. So we've been able to grade separate this entire time.
I see that now. It looks like we are stop controlled. If we take a right here,
if we take a right here, so we would turn
Okay.
Yep, it is once again stop control.
Okay.
You have to stop, and you have to, I guess, wait for whoever is coming down that first turn on path. I think what I really wanted to show you is if we go up here, we start to see the on-ramp. We have what's listed as a T intersection and a yield with a double left turn. So we come up to this intersection, we check to the left, make sure no one's coming. And then we have immediately this. I wanted to show this to you because this doesn't feel like it would be legal to build. This feels like it should be outlawed in several ways. I don't know what to say.
It would not. This would be violating your maximum grade. Okay. I would guess that's probably approaching a 15 to 20%, which is like maybe we could get away with one person's driveway being that.
That might be a lot more than 15 to 20.
I think you're right. I think this is probably closer to 30 or 40, which is just kind of unfathomable. Yeah, this is beyond a scale pot. This is an order of magnitude different than what we'd like to see. This is, another maybe $1.5 billion to fix just this interchange. I'm developing a theory that I think this is a government that is trying to, instead of, reduce the cost of living, there might be a housing crisis. I think that the people of Hawaii are seeking to address, and, the government solution here is that there could just be less people.
Based on the number of CPU drivers we're seeing, I absolutely think that is a fairly likely explanation. And what's going on.
So I think in that perspective, then it's a waste in more ways than one, right? Because this is a very expensive interchange to build. That it's not going to be as successful at reducing the population as some of your other interchanges. So you spend a lot of money for relatively. This is probably only killing like 10, 20 people a year. You're just getting a lot of goofy little mishaps and uh-ohs. And it's also, expensive. This is going to be a lot of money to redo. So, a disaster from that standpoint. So that's going to be probably just a flat 0 for me. It's not really doing anything right.
Oh, I didn't even notice this one over here.
Can we drop in there real quick? I
am curious as to, apparently I've been here before, so let's drop in on this one and see what's happening. Oh yeah.
I know you can't see it. There should be a gentle left we could take.
I think you were right. I think there is a
there it is. Okay.
The road signs are going in this direction. I wasn't sure because there was a do not enter sign right next to this street, but no, that was pointing to the other street, which is one way for some reason. So I didn't even notice the mythical 6-way intersection sitting right next to where I was originally wanting to.
This is killing people, right? So this is a -5, 6, maybe 7. This might be the worst that I've seen in the game because, you're just look at how much dirt you moved to make this happen, and you left it steep enough that there's still a good chance that some, if you get a heavy rain here, you're probably getting rid of some people on landslides alone. Yeah. So on top of sending people headfirst into one another almost constantly. And that tree there, boy, that's collecting a few people a year. You're lined up right with it. You're just beautiful. That's the end.
I think that's most of what I wanted to share.
Okay.
Any closing remarks for today on the billions of dollars that were wasted and the billions more that need to be spent?
Yeah. I think this is decades, maybe hundreds of years of damage. Hawaii is never going to be what we know it as, ever again. Really. We might call it here. I don't think it's unfathomable to think that we're looking at like a few $100 billion.
Okay.
If we were gonna remedy this system here, and
okay. No, don't mind me.
And I think for that reason, we are just going to we're just gonna have just call the video. Just call the video.